Hello, Geneva, and welcome to Officially Speaking. I'm your host, Kevin Starr. Each month, we sit down with one of our local elected officials to get the latest with the City Council. Today, I'm certainly the lesser of the two Kevins, as I'm joined by Mayor Kevin Burns. Mayor, thanks for being here today.
How are you, Kevin? Good to see you again.
Well, let's jump right into some of the topics of the day. So, one of the issues that's been certainly circulating around the community with a great deal of interest has been the proposed development at 7th and State, which was the former Citron property. Can you summarize for our audience how this process has taken shape and where it might be heading in the coming weeks?
Certainly. For all of you tuning in and those of you who have been following the project, it's best to summarize it as such. It's been about a 2-year process that led to a vote by the Plan Commission, which is a 9-member body that advises the City Council. That Plan Commission voted approximately 2 weeks ago to deny the application based on multiple standards. As they came through those standards for consideration, the applicant, Marquette Development Corporation, chose to withdraw. So for all practical purposes, the proposed development is dead in the water. Certainly Marquette has an opportunity, if they so choose, to return to the city and perhaps suggest an alternative proposal. But what caused a great deal of consternation and concern amongst many in the community, that issue is now behind us.
Turning our focus to City Hall,
yes.
We've had some retirement announcements in the past few weeks, including our city administrator, our police chief, and fire chief. Going forward, do you expect a smooth transition in leadership here amongst our staff?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's best to describe the retirements as the baby boom generation has come of age. Mary McKittrick, our city administrator, Chief Mexon, our police chief, and Chief Olson, our fire chief, have deserved, have earned, and are looking forward to the next chapter in their life. Those who are replacing them, Stephanie Dawkins, our current Director of Administrative Services, is going to be the new City Administrator. Eric Passarelli, our Commander at the police station, is going to be our next Police Chief. And Mike Antonori, a Lieutenant with the Fire Department, is going to be our next Fire Chief. All three of those people are not only professionals with extraordinary experience, but have been trained to provide the leadership that we need and expect. And I am 110% confident that the transition will be smooth. The services that we expect and demand will be continued, and I'm looking forward to working with them. And I know the council is as well.
The City Council has spent a considerable amount of time discussing the 2016-17 fiscal year budget, which has been approved.
Indeed.
Can you take us through that process and give us some of the highlights?
It's important to note that the budget process every year actually begins in November and runs through April. So you're looking at 4 or 5 months of discussion, debate, and decision making with respect to how to allocate limited resources to the programs and the projects that define the community. And it's also important to note that the strategic plan that the council adopts every year is also endorsed by the Strategic Plan Advisory Committee, which is a group of volunteers throughout the city who recommend how best to allocate resources and recommend how to advance projects and programs. So this is truly a collaborative effort. The budget that was just approved is not only balanced, it's responsible, it's respectful. The challenges that we have in the future is not only a result of some of the nonsense, if you will, going on at the state level, but it's also going to force all of us to make certain that we stick to the plan. And if we adjust that plan, we adjust it responsibly as well. There's a fine line between the cost of something and the value of something. So I certainly encourage my council colleagues to focus on value, not just cost, and ideally the blending of both. Because the community expects from us not only that we do our homework, but that we deliver the services in a quality way, in an effective way, in a responsible way, and in an affordable way. We've done that for years, we continue to do so, and I'm confident, just as I am with respect to the transition, I'm confident that the budget is going to deliver those results.
You touched a little bit about the state, and you've been very passionate about preserving Geneva's revenues and that are being considered to be cut at the state level. Can you give us a summary or an update on what's been happening down in Springfield?
That's a loaded question. It could be answered in multiple ways. My concern, and certainly the concern of the council and the majority of the community, is that our friends at the state legislature level have not been doing their job as well as they could be. We have invited regularly our state elected officials to join us to experience what it's like to lead and manage a community. And when we can't count on our friends in Springfield to support our efforts, it becomes troubling. The reality is, however, even if Springfield said tomorrow, local government distributed funds and other revenue sources are going to be eliminated and no longer shared with the local municipalities, we still have an obligation to provide electric, to provide water and sewer, to provide police, to provide fire, and to provide the services to lead this community. So if Springfield either chooses to or is unable to do its job, we still have a responsibility to do our job. I'm hopeful that our friends in Springfield will find a resolution soon, and clearly that resolution has to come from both sides of the aisle. So we await anxiously to see what those resolutions are, and we will continue to express our support for a resolution that's in the best interest of those who call Geneva home and the businesses who call Geneva home.
Geneva received a bit of good news in recent months as we won the American Public Works Association Project of the Year for the parking deck expansion. I know you were at the luncheon. Obviously, this is a testament to Geneva's Public Works Department and everyone that was involved in the project.
They deserve the credit. The men and women of Public Works, led by Mr. Babica and Mr. Scheiber, deserve full credit for seeing that project through to fruition. And most people would probably say, well, it's a parking garage. What's so sexy about that? The reality is it provides parking not just for the commuters who take the train in and out of Chicago every day, but it provides parking for all those who visit Geneva as well. It is a much needed asset to downtown Geneva that serves folks in our community and throughout the region who come here to enjoy dining, shopping, and entertainment. You mentioned the luncheon where we got the state award. We're now off to the national competition in Minneapolis in August, and I'm hopeful that we'll be recognized there just as we have been at the state and local level. So to your point, a tip of the hat to Rich and to Brian and everyone who made that project what it is today.
And part of the reason why that parking deck expansion took place was the future project from Union Pacific to add a third rail line through Geneva.
Right.
I know this is still a ways off, but can you share with our residents what might be taking place with that?
Sure. For all of you who are familiar with the train tracks through Geneva now, envision a third track coming through Geneva, starting from the west, heading east on the south side of the tracks. That third track will provide more efficiencies for Metra, more efficiencies for the UP. It'll also, of course, increase train traffic through Geneva, and we know that to be the case. Right now, about 120 trains a day travel through Geneva. I would anticipate, and I think it's reasonable to anticipate, that somewhere in the neighborhood of 140 to 150 trains will traverse our community once that third track's in place. That's a good thing for the region, no question about it. The challenge is in constructing that third track or laying that third track, there will be disruptions. In commuter parking, there will ultimately be an impact with respect to the available spots. So by building the parking deck, I think we address those issues ahead of time. And I only ask for our citizens, particularly our commuters, that they exercise the patience they've always shown with respect to making those improvements. So in the next couple of years, it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Are there any other topics that are going to be coming up to the City Council in the coming months that you think would be important for people to know about?
I would encourage everyone to tune in regularly if you can't attend live to Channel 10 on Comcast or Channel 99 on AT&T, or you can stream the City Council meetings live at www.geneva.il.us and join us in the discussions regarding some of what most people will think are the exciting projects percolating. No doubt about it. The mill race development, that's coming our way. It's going to be an exciting opportunity to design and develop and discuss the eastern shore of the Fox River as one of our major gateways. There's going to be some development percolating further east along Kirk Road. There's going to be substantial discussion regarding how best we can not only preserve what makes Geneva special, but enhance the opportunities as well. We're talking infill development. We're talking opportunities to expand the downtown in a way that makes it not just relevant, but makes it thrive. We have exciting developments on the west end, the east end, the north, and the south. And the best way to learn all that and the best way to participate is to join us here. Email your council members, email myself, give us a phone call, and let us know your thoughts, because that's what really makes the community special.
That is all the time we have for Officially Speaking today. I'd like to thank Mayor Burns for his time and insight into the City Council.
It's my pleasure, Kevin. Thank you very much. And again, I want to encourage anyone and everyone, if you have any questions for me, you can reach me on my cell phone at 630-742-8916, email at mayorburns@geneva.il.us, or on Twitter at Mayor Burns. And I'm happy to respond to and engage in conversation about the community that we all love and respect. So thank you very much.
Not a problem. We also thank you for watching. We hope to tune in next month to get the official word from your city officials.